What is up, Flosstube? Welcome to my YouTube channel, The Brigham House Stitcher. My name is Haley. Thank you for being here. It's been 3 weeks since my last video. This is Flosstube number 18. And it's amazing how much work you can get done in 3 weeks. Let's see. What do I have to share tonight? Got together with the cross stitching group this past Monday. I have a little bit of haul. I have a new start. I have 2 finishes. So I got some stuff to share. I'm excited about it. After last video, I was like, okay, next video, I'm going to bring the energy. I'm going to be like, it's going to be exciting, pumped up, whatever. And before I turn on the camera, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so exhausted. But we're going to do our best. Okay. Where shall we start? Let's talk about the cross stitching group. So I don't know if I talked about this in my last video 3 weeks ago. I don't know. Whenever somebody comes into the UPS store and they're getting like copies, or they see me cross stitching and they comment on it, I really try to put forth the effort to ask them if they cross stitch and if they know if there's any cross stitching groups, and really trying to get outside my comfort zone so that I can, talk to people about cross stitching. And one day I was cross stitching and somebody asked me about it, and I said, oh, do you cross stitch? And she said yes. And I go, do you know if there's any cross stitch groups in the area or anything like that? And she goes, no, but we should start one. And I was like, yeah, totally. Anyways, she was gung-ho about it. She went on Facebook, she created a post, she created a group, she set the time, the place, everything. She was all for it, and we set the time for Monday the 7th to get together at one of the parks, And when I asked her about it, because we had talked a lot that day over Instagram, we talked a lot that day, and made plans and talked about the crafts that we do and this, that, and the other. And then the conversation fizzled out, and then I didn't talk to her for a while. And so as the day approached, I messaged her and I was like, hey, how's the Facebook group going? Because I don't have Facebook. Facebook thinks I'm not a real person, so they keep deleting my account. Anyways, she said there were 45 people in the group, and I was like, oh my goodness. But it was opened up to all crafters, knitters, crocheters, embroidery people. And so there was like expectation of a big turnout. Anyways, there was 6 people there, including myself and the other person. But it was good. Before I got out of the car, I was so nervous. Socializing is not my strong suit, okay? So, like, before I get out of the car, I'm like, is this really what I want to do? Is this really what I want to do? And my sister's like, yep, and basically, like, kicked me out the door. And, anyways, I sat there and we listened to each other talk, and we talked about ourselves and, why we wanted to be in this group and what we do for jobs and that sort of thing. And I only stayed for an hour because, I only wanted to stay for an hour, but there was talk about having another one, and the next one is set for the 21st. So, I got a lot of stitching done, and I did have a good time while I was there. Didn't talk about myself too much, which is typical me, but it was good, and made some connections and talked to people about projects and cross stitching. The only 2 cross stitchers that were there were me and the other lady who started the group. Everybody else was knitting or crocheting. I don't know the difference. I'm sorry, I don't know the difference. So that's how the cross stitching group went. Also, I decided not to go to Stitch West. It was going to be too much work. To have to figure out how to get to Salt Lake and then figure out how to get home on Sunday. The trains don't run on Sunday here, and so it's like, how am I going to get home and then have my sister drive? Anyways, too much work, pay for the hotel, pay for all my meals. I could stitch at home for 3 days and not pay close to $1,000 for the weekend. So I decided not to go to Stitch West. I'm okay with that decision. If it takes place in Ogden again, I think I'll go. But if it's not going to be in Ogden, I don't think it's something that I need to happen in my life. So there's the updates there. Oh, there's my fabric. Okay. Let's do some finishes, and then we'll talk about haul, and then we'll do whips. We'll throw some stuff here and there. Okay, so after my last Flosstube, I wanted to get creation done. I'm tired of it. I didn't want to work on it anymore. Like, every time I look at it, I'm like, I'm so freaking close. I'm so freaking close, but it just feels like you're not even close to close. You're so far away, you're not even close to being close to done. So anyways, the week after my last Flosstube video, all I stitched on after I got off from work was creation. So it's Creation by Praying Hands. I started it October 27th, 2024. It's an 18 count Zweigart. I'm stitching it with DMC. It's 2/1, and I finished it on the 27th. So October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, 8 months. You can tell how much I enjoyed stitching on it. Okay, but it's done now. It's done. This is where it was last time you saw it. Oh, I just realized I'm not 100% done, but we're gonna call it done, okay? We're gonna call it done. So you can see there was a lot of work to do. Finish the alphabet, do creation, do the border at the bottom, the flowers here, finish the flowers here, finish her, finish him, finish this flower up there. But that's how much I had to get done. And I was like, just be done with it. I was so sick of this thing. I just wanted to be done. And I am. We're calling it done. It's said to do French knots for the eyes. I didn't do the French knots for the eyes. I've never done French knots before, and I was gonna wait and watch some videos on how to do it. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't care if they have eyes or not. I don't care. It's done, and I want to be done. So, we're done. I think it looks nice. I think it looks okay. I like the alphabet. They might need eyes. They may. But you know what? We're going to call it done. And here's the thing about this one too. I put it on this fabric because I was like, it can fit 2 more, right? I don't want to do 2 more. I'm not passionate about these patterns. I don't want to do any more. But I mean, it is pretty. Those flowers are very pretty. The tree's okay. The people are okay. The alphabet's pretty. The pattern at the bottom's pretty. So there is my finish. It's done. It's out of my hair. I'm so happy about it. I didn't want to work on this thing ever again. And I'm not going to. So there we go. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. The idea when I started it was do 3 of them and then frame them together, hang them up on the wall. But now I'm just like, I don't want to do another 2. I don't. That took me 8 months because I hated stitching on it so much. So maybe I'll find one that I really, really like out of the book, which is over there. I'm not going to grab, but It is what it is. It's done now. It's over. Maybe I'll be crazy and do another one. I don't know. Don't think about it now. We've got other projects to talk about. Then, the other one I finished was The Inheritance by the Cross-Eyed Cricket. Doing that one for my sister. And last video I talked about those colors on the pattern behind her and how I did not like them. There was some debate as to what they should be and what they shouldn't be. This is kind of where it was last time. I couldn't find the full picture of where it was last time, but the quilt was done and I was choosing the colors to go behind her head. The colors in the chart were very nursery colors, very baby's room colors, and I hated them. So I switched them out for these kind of darker colors. Let's see, I stitched it on Belfast linen, vintage country mocha. It's a 32 count, and it is an FFO. It is a fully finished object. My sister was so excited when I got it done. She was like, let's go buy a frame. And then she framed it herself. She wanted it all done. So, there it is. Last video, I believe I talked about the initials on there. They're supposed to be mine because I'm the one who stitched it. But she's like, but you're doing it for me. It should be my initials. So I was going to stitch over here, made for, but I hated the way the stitching looked. So it's just her initials. And they're the colors I chose. And I think they turned out really well. My sister suggested that I just don't do a background and just leave the lady with the quilt. And I was like, nope, it needs the background, so there's the background. And she chose the frame. I think it goes quite well. I think it's very pretty. She's gonna hang it up in her room by her quilting table, sewing area. But yeah. I was so happy to get this one done too. So happy. There was a mistake made somewhere. I will not point out all my mistakes. But something happened in this area where they didn't match up. And I had to undo a bunch of things, but it's done now. So that's my FFO. Alright, I do have to get up to get my fabric because it's part of the next story, which is part of my haul. When I had my sister post on Facebook asking if anybody knew if there were cross-stitch groups in the area, and somebody commented that she wanted to start a group, but she couldn't do it until her craft room was finished or something like that. But she was going to be selling cross-stitch supplies at the farmer's market. So I went and I bought some fabric and patterns. And now I'm going to have to get up and you're going to see the pants I'm wearing. Mind you, it's almost bedtime. I'm off of work. It was an insanely busy day. Okay? Prime days, can we stop? Can we just stop? Can we stop buying crap and then returning it? Insanely busy day. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you see my pants. Okay? Very busy day. Bought some patterns, but I don't know where they are now. Oh, here they are. By insanely busy day, I mean, I got to have lunch at 3 o'clock. That's how busy we were. Okay, so she was selling patterns for $5 a piece. And I got this one, the Prairie Schooler pumpkins. I don't think I would turn them into pumpkins if I stitched them, but I would stitch the owl, and I would stitch this one. I think they're very cute. I'm very much in the Halloween spirit. I'm very much there. I want it to be fall. I want to decorate for Halloween, and I've been stitching on some Halloween stuff. And then I bought this one because my nephew, he loves wolves. Okay? He loves wolves, anything wolves, so I got this one for him. Wolf Serenade. I don't know if I'm going to stitch it. I looked more at these ones on the back, and I thought maybe they were in there, but they're not. I would definitely stitch this one. Oh, maybe that one. Sorry. But it's this one, which is okay. I don't know if I'm going to stitch it, but I just like to make him happy, so I bought it. Then the other one is the Prairie Schooler Christmas Alphabet, which is adorable. She had some Mirabilia ones there, and I almost bought them, but I was like, you're never going to stitch a Mirabilia, you know that. You know you're not going to. Why buy it? But I'll definitely stitch these. Okay, so those are the patterns I bought. And then, okay. Well, that's a free pattern my nephew picked out. We don't need to see those. Okay. I'm always shocked about the price of the fabric. Always. Always, always, always. But, okay. I got a 30 count linen lemon ice. It's 16 by 27. I thought that was a good piece of fabric. Oh, look at these strings everywhere. Oh, geez. Don't pull on them, Haley. Don't pull on them. Yelling at myself here. Okay. So there was that one. That was $23. But I was like, I can stitch a lot of stuff on that. Then this one is Golden Flax Linen 26 count. 16 by 27. It was $20. I thought that was a good piece of fabric. Although I'm not a big fan of linen. I'm stitching a few things on linen right now and not the biggest fan. But it is what it is. Okay, then this is also linen. Desert Sand 28 count. 24 by 27. This was $30. That's a good piece of fabric. Like I need any more fabric though. I do. Okay. Then this is Jobelin Cherub Pink. It's 28 count. It's 18 by 32. It was $25. Oh, I can't see through this one. I thought if I ever do a Valentine's Day stitch, this would be perfect. And I like the weave on it. It seems more structured than linen. Okay. Okay, and then the last one is Jobelin taupe, 28 count, 18 by 27. It was $15. I don't know why the other one was so expensive, and this one's... But I think that's a good color too. It's dark, but not too dark. And it's a good piece of fabric. Okay. I need some scissors to trim these things. Goodness me. Oh, stop pulling on them, Haley. Where are my scissors? Oh, for heaven's sakes. Pull it apart one thread at a time. Okay. So that was that. And then I talked to her about the cross-stitching group, and she's like, oh, well, I can't do anything until my craft room is put together, or there's a floor in it or something like that. And I was like, okay, that doesn't help me right now, but okay, cool. So then one more bit of haul. I do the schedule. I talked about it in my last video. You know, every day I have a whip that I work on, and I have it set up in this end table next to the couch where it's like a bin, but it's, and then you open it and you can reach inside and grab it. So all my stuff is inside. And I wanted a sewing box on the table, on the end table, to where I didn't have to get scissors out of every single bag, or, you know, my tools out of every single bag I'm stitching there. So I want like my tools right there. So I had an idea of what I was looking for. Not like one of those big stitching boxes or like the quilter stitching boxes. I had an idea, just a small wooden box with maybe like a drawer or two that I could put scissors and needle minders and needles in there and whatever other tools I have. And I went to a local consignment shop and I was looking around and there was some stuff, but then I walked past this shelf and it, well, I'll show you what caught my eye. You can read that. It says My Stitchin'. I was like, I have to get it. Anyways, you open that. My nephew made that for me. It's Gollum. It's Smeagol. Anyways, it's not 100% my style. The paintings on the box, not completely my style, like rustic farmhouse or whatever. But it said My Stitchin' on there. And how could I not get it? It's got just this little drawer and keep the scissors in there and whatever else, and it sits right there, and it says My Stitchin'. I had to get it. I think it was like $18 or something like that. So that sits by me, and it has my scissors in it and all that fun stuff. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's all my haul. Shall we do the new start? Yes, we shall, because it's a Halloween. I'm very much into the Halloween spirit right now, and I wanted another start. Last video I had another Halloween start, which I've been stitching on, but I wanted another one. So I chose Apothecary Shop by the Witchy Stitcher. I bought it on Etsy, and it's so cute. Okay, it's so cute, and it's small. I have a sign like this hanging up in my room year round because I love this sign so much. It's what is it? Old Broom Shop, Salem something. I love that sign so much. I saw it at a thrift store for like $1. I bought it. I instantly hung it up in my room, and it's been on my wall for 2 years straight. I don't take it down when Halloween's over. It's on my wall all the time. And I think this one will also be. So it's on this kind of vintage country mocha fabric, which I didn't have in the proper size. And it's stitched in 310. But the fabric that I had in the proper size was LD All Hallows Eve 32 count that I got at Shepherd's Bush. It was a perfect size. Nothing else was the proper size that I had. This was the only one. And I started stitching on it in black, and it was like the black was just too stark. It popped too much. And so I had to rethink the color of the sign. So I changed it to DMC number 8. I started it June 28th, and I'm stitching it 2/2. And I've already gone through almost a complete skein. But here's where I'm at. And that color's kind of true. Yeah, that purple, that's kind of true to form. So now that I'm looking at it, maybe I shouldn't, I mean, there's still a lot of fabric over here, and there's going to be a lot over here. Well, I'll save those for smalls. Yeah. But anyways, I'm trying really hard to work in the area where my hoop is and not move on until that area is complete. So I've done the back stitching on there. So it looks pretty good. Ever since I finished The Inheritance, this has been my work whip, which I was like wanting to get The Inheritance done so that I could make this my work whip, so that I could bust this sucker out. And I think those little letters in Shop are so stinking cute. They're so tiny and so adorable, but the whole thing is so pretty. Every time I add a new element or a new letter, I just get so excited because it's so pretty. And I can't wait to hang it up on my wall. Did I start in the right place? I don't know if I did. I thought I started in the middle of the fabric, but now that I'm looking at it, maybe I didn't. I thought I did. Oh well. So that is Apothecary Shop by the Witchy Stitcher, and I love it so much. So that's my new start. I don't think I'm in the middle of this fabric at all. What was I thinking? Maybe I am. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when we get there. We'll see. Anyways, I love it. Okay, there's that one. Next one is from this book, Creepy Cross Stitch. I wanted to have this one done too, but ever since I decided I'm not going to Stitch West, I no longer need a small for the smalls exchange, so I haven't really been stitching on it all that much. This is Shadows on the Moon by Lindsay Swearingen. Started in June, maybe in May. I don't remember when I started it. It's on linen blue wing 28 count. I'm using the called for thread, and I'm stitching it 2/2. I love 2/2. It's my jam. Here's where it was last time you saw it. And here is where it is now. It's still in the hoop because what's the point? There's no point in taking it out. So I got a lot done on it. Still a bit to go, but I have a question for you all. We have already talked about this tear here. Okay? We've talked about it. I didn't notice it until I got it on the hoop and had started stitching. Now, I was going to finish it as like a pillow or something, but then as I stitched this here, I realized that I can't just like end it, like I can't just sew here for the pillow, and because the cloud comes out here, I didn't think about that. It goes beyond the frame. So my thoughts were put it in a frame like she has it, or stitch one of those bats directly over that tear. What do you guys think about that? I've never had to deal with tears in my fabric that I couldn't stitch over. The Governor's Palace, when I had to unpick it, I tore a couple of threads, and so I just kept them as close as I could, and then I stitched directly over them, so it was no big deal. But this one, this is an obvious tear. If I put it in a frame, it's going to be visible. If I make it into a pillow, it's going to be visible. Something. I don't know how to fix tears. Can you see it? Yes, there. You can see it. Anyways, what are your thoughts? What are your ideas? I'm trying to get this one done because it's cute and I kind of want it for myself. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, next one is Trick or Treat by the Prairie Schooler. That's what it's going to look like. Started at June 20th. It's Lugana in the color Murky. Somebody in the comments from the last video helped me out with that. I was like, oh duh, Murky. Stitching with the called for, it's a 28 count, and I'm stitching it 2 over 2. I want to keep my cards with my projects. This is what it looked like the last time you saw it. Just had a teeny tiny little start. But here is where we are now. I know it's not a tremendous amount of work, but I just work on it 15 minutes before I go to work. That equals about 1 thread. So we've got 2 trick-or-treaters, we've got a path, we've got a tree, and we have reached the edge. So this is the edge of the pattern on this side, and these are going to be haunted houses. And also I'm trying to do as I'm doing on the Apothecary, where finish the section where your hoop is. Don't just take an element like, say, oh, I'm going to do the owl or the tree. No, I'm going to work where I'm at. And basically it's kind of been I've been working on this half of the pattern. There, you can't steal the pattern that way. I've been working on this half of the pattern, and so that's where I stitch. Haven't begun working on the bottom half. So we'll work on what's up here, and then we'll move down below. Super cute. Okay, next one. I've had my schedule, right? Monday is this whip, Tuesday is this whip, Wednesday is this whip. I'm learning I'm not excited about some of the whips I chose for each day. Namely, Welcome to Rivendell. I'm not excited about it. I'm not excited to stitch on it. I do the bare minimum, which you will see. I'm not excited. And I was even like, well, let's move on to one of the buildings because it might have more interest than the cliffs and waterfalls. Still not excited to stitch on it. I'm just not. Okay, so there's where it was last time. This is Welcome to Rivendell by CountryMagicStitch on Etsy. I started it in December 2024. It's on a 28 count Zweigart Lugana, stitching it DMC and 2/2. Last time I was at 1,411 stitches out of 22,528, 6.26% done. This time I'm at 1,451 stitches. I did exactly 50 stitches in it in 3 weeks. We are at 6.44% done. I'm not excited about it. I think I'm going to put it away. Honestly, I think I'm going to put it away. Can you even tell what I did? Can you even tell? I did this pink here. I did one thread of pink. Oh, can you even see it? There it is. Started on the tower there. Didn't care for it. Don't care. It doesn't make me happy. So why would I stitch on it if it doesn't make me happy? I mean, finished it would be beautiful and I would love to have it up on my wall because, if you can't tell, I'm in a new spot in my bedroom. I rearranged, I cleaned, I organized, and right over there is the most beautiful Lord of the Rings wall. All my collectibles, all my walking challenge medals, my puzzles, the cross stitch I did that was Lord of the Rings is beautiful right over there. And I would love to have it on the wall up there, but I can't stitch it. I don't know. I don't know why. I'm just not excited about it. So there's that. All right. Next one is Primitive Months of the Year, which is actually called 265 Calendar Months Village, which I don't know why the Etsy listing is different than the title of the pattern, but it's an oldie but goodie. I mean, they're so cute. The houses are so cute. And I begin to stitch on them and I'm like, oh, this one is taking forever. And it's the borders. Okay, the borders trip you up because they take forever and they take so much time and so many stitches. But the houses are so darling. Here's where it was last time. So this is Primitive Months of the Year Village by NARAxStitchPatterns on Etsy. Started at May 2024. It's on a 16 count Zweigart Ada gridded using DMC and stitching it 2/1. And I decided to stay in the month of June, even though the month has passed on. I'm like, nope, you're gonna stitch until a block is done, girl. End of story. And I took this one to the cross stitch group. And I actually got a lot of it done, which I'm very happy about. It's what happens when you're in a cross stitch group and you don't talk. There's where it's at, but that is what I stitched. Got the trees. Oh, what did I, let's see. Finished the house. The chimney still needs to be done, but finished the house, worked on the trees, did the chickens. Hello, cute chickens. There, you can see them better there. There is back stitching that goes into this, and I'm considering doing it. Don't know if I will, because there's been some back stitching that I don't want to do in other houses. And so I don't know if I should do back stitching on all the houses or just some of them. But I mean, the door blends in a little bit too much, you know? I think it needs a little bit of an outline. The windows, not so much. I don't think they need a back stitch. But maybe the door. But anyways, I think it looks so cute with the trees. Those trees are done, by the way. They are done. And the little chickens. And then I just have to go in and fill in massive amounts of grass. Like half of that pattern is grass. But, oh here, let's show it all together one last time. Can you see it all? Yep. October's still my favorite. Of course, I've only have 3 done, but October is, I think it's so cute. We'll see if June will be my favorite when it's done. Okay. Next one is Let Freedom Ring by Lila Studio. Started January 4th, 2025. It's on a 28 count Lugana vintage mocha using DMC and Classic Colorworks, stitching it 2/2. This is what it's supposed to look like, which I see pictures on Instagram and everybody is miles ahead of me on this. It's a stitch along hosted by Sheila, the Crow River Stitcher. That's where it's supposed to be. And this is where it was last time. Last time I was at 9,201 stitches out of 35,726. I was at 25.75% done. Okay. As of tomorrow, I am supposed to have 12,824 stitches done on this to be able to be done and on time for the next 4th of July. I am at 9,649 stitches. I'm at 27.01% done. Okay, didn't get much done. Only, what, 400 stitches? I'm so far behind. But I got some stuff done on it. I worked on the border. So, it's a very beautiful border. And I tried to get the whole border done before this video, but, okay, busy on the 4th of July. I did in my room. I was home alone, and so I did my room. Then, the 5th of July, we actually had our family reunion pool party type thing. I got massively sunburnt, but I had no time to stitch. 0. And then, you know, it's like Saturday's the day for errands and like, but once I get the next one done, this one's moving to Sundays for sure. So there's where it's at. And the border is beautiful. It's so beautiful here. Look at that. Each little element is beautiful on its own. And I enjoy stitching on it, but it's just, it's a very big project. It's a very big undertaking. And I may have bit off more than I can chew, but we'll see. Okay. Last whip. Wendy's wedding whip. It's Wedding Sampler by Historical Sampler Company. It was a kit. Stitching it 2/2. Last time I was at, there's where we were last time. Last time I was at 17,567 stitches out of 19,739 stitches. We were at 89% done. This time we're at 19,112 stitches, 96.82% done. This is one I am dying to finish. It's been a year, okay? I need to be done with this one. Straight up, just, I need to be done. Considering her anniversary is next month, here's where we are. Borders done. We did the peacock. And we worked on the bowl of fruit. So, what is missing from this is 3 hearts here and 3 hearts here. They're interlocking. And then this tree here, and then filling in this bowl of fruit. So that's what's missing, but I don't think I'm going to do the interlocking hearts. I'm going to put her kids' initials. That's what I want to do. Oh yeah, and also my initials and the date. That's what we're missing. But, I mean, look at that. We are almost done. We are so close I can taste it. By the next video, this will be done. It has to be. It has to be. And then I will move Let Freedom Ring over to Sunday, and that will be my Sunday stitch. Now, that's all my stuff. That's all my stuff, my patterns. Yeah, I bought some frames. I don't need to show you those, I don't think, because I'm not quite sure if they'll work. I don't know. I don't need to ramble on anymore, but I don't think my schedule's working for me anymore because I'm not excited about my stitches. If you happen to notice 2 of my whips that are on my schedule, I didn't show tonight because I didn't work on them. I'm gonna sneeze. Governor's Palace and The Name of Jesus. I haven't worked on those. Not really excited about those, as well as Rivendell. I have, with creation being done, I've moved the trick or treat to Tuesdays, which was creation day. But Rivendell, The Name of Jesus, and Governor's Palace, I'm not excited about. I don't get excited. I don't go, oh, I want to stitch on that. So I think I'm going to rethink my schedule. I was looking over at the Prairie Schooler Christmas alphabet, and I was like, maybe I'll work on one of those. No, lady, no. But Monday, the calendar works. Saturday, like the schedule is just, so I gotta rethink that, because if I'm not enjoying what I'm stitching on, what's the point of stitching? You know, I'm loving the trick or treat. I'm loving the apothecary. Do I love anything else? I'm pushing on Wendy's wedding whip because I want it done, and the primitive calendar village, working on that because as I do an element, it looks good. It starts to look good. So we'll see what I show you next time. But that's all I have. And was there anything else I wanted to say? I don't know. I don't think so. All right, I'm done talking. Thank you for watching. Yeah, every time I turn off the camera, there's always like, oh yeah, I was going to talk about that. So I was just, nobody cares. Shut it off. You're done. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for your comments and your suggestions, helping me figure out the names of fabrics and all the things. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.